All right, guys, this is episode 89. Episode 89. So I think this is the 9th giveaway that we've done since, Monday? Something like that. So I'm hoping to do 21 videos, 21 giveaways in 21 days. That's my goal. And then on my birthday, July 12th, I will randomize all the comments from each video, and you hopefully can win. I think everyone should come out and get something. With 21 chances to win, your odds are pretty good. You have a better chance of finding winning cards on my channel than you do at finding cards at Target and Walmart. So all you gotta do is subscribe, like, and comment. A lot of times it's a question, sometimes just a random comment, whatever you would like to say. For today, I'm gonna open up a kind of collector's set that Upper Deck issued in about 2008 when Yankee Stadium, the original Yankee Stadium, was in their final season. So it's a 100-card set. It is limited edition. There's no room for going up in value in 10 years. I think it's $20. That's about the same. So $20 you can get this set on eBay, and there's many of them. I only got this because it's combined shipping. Episode 88, I posted this morning, a quick little 8-second video. I saw somebody post on a PSA group on Facebook, a singing variation, Sandy Koufax. I thought it was interesting. So all you gotta do is comment on the video, and then I'll randomize it, and you can win 10 Sandy Koufax cards. For today's video, favorite Yankee player. All right. Again, I don't see any way to make my money back. I just enjoy seeing cards, learning about them. So it says 53,000 of these sets were made. It does say 2 game used memorabilia cards. I don't think there's anything really unique with those. I think they're pretty basic, not even tied to a specific player. But we will see. Reminds me of an egg drop. One of the assignments you see in middle school, high school. It's an interesting package, so they don't get bent. All right, so I can leave that there. I can move that. If you're wondering, the jersey that I have is Joe DiMaggio. So if you're new to the channel, didn't see the couple of videos I've been talking about Joe DiMaggio. So he wasn't one of my favorite players about 5 years ago. I knew my grandpa was a big fan of Joe DiMaggio, but I decided that he was one that I would start collecting. My grandpa passed away, I think Christmas Eve, or a couple days before Christmas, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Before I met my kids, I just think it was like 8 months before I met my kids. And he passed away, and we're going through some of his belongings, and we found a autographed Yankees team ball from 1952. And it had Joe DiMaggio on there, it had Mickey Mantle, it had Larry Berra, not Yogi Berra, it had Casey Stengel, it had a bunch of different, it was a whole team ball. And at first when I saw it, I took it home with me because all the grandkids got to take something. We put all of its belongings on a pool table that after the kids had a chance to grab it, then the grandkids got a chance. So I grabbed that team ball thinking they were not real autographs, and it sat in my closet for 6 months. Then I decided to figure out what year it would have been. So I opened up an Excel spreadsheet, and for each player I could identify, and I think I identified all but 2, just based on me seeing signatures before. 2008 Home Run Derby, I remember that. I always thought it was weird, he had a 1999 Bowman card, but then his rookie cards are 2008. Because I know he dealt with some addiction issues. I don't know if they'll mark, no. So he did rehab, I don't know if it was cut from the Texas Rangers, but then he came back in his 30s and was classified as a rookie, actually. So I decided to look at those autographs on the baseball, and I was able to identify that it was signed in the late summer months of 1952. And I could do that because one of the relief pitchers signed in August. And a lot of the players were not with the team the next year. Hey, he's from Minnesota Twins. That's cool. So I was able to narrow it down. That ball was signed in August, September, or October of 1952. The more I looked at the ball, the more I started to question if it was real. So I sent it to a couple of my friends, Dean, Jim, a couple other people that know autographs, and they all gave the thumbs up as it looks legit to me. Did some research, and if you are a baseball fan, Yankees fan, you know that 1952 was a big year. The early 50s were a big year, just with some big World Series wins. I don't think we need to see a screwdriver on the shot. So I looked on eBay, and team balls that were certified are quite a lot of money, $5,000 to $10,000 if they're certified. So it belonged to my grandpa. It was in a shoebox in a drawer for most of his life. If he really got it in 1952, it was put away for 60, 70 years with him not talking about it. I don't know if it's early childhood memories he didn't want to remember, or if it was he didn't want his kids fighting over it, or I don't know. So he was given up at birth, my grandpa was, back in the 30s. I think his mom was fairly young. So he was adopted, I think right at birth. I think he was adopted. And then his adoptive parents both passed away within a year, I think. And then once his adoptive parents passed away, he moved to New York. He lived in Brooklyn in the summer of 52. So he lived there from June, July, and August, maybe a little bit into the fall. But he lived with his aunt and uncle and went to Yankees games. I knew a little bit of that. So the story checks out, the timing, and it could be a scenario where I think he was 14 at the time of when that ball could have been signed. So I believe a scenario could be where maybe he lost both his parents and they were looking for a gift and the ball got signed. That could be, but I'll never know the exact story because he didn't tell anybody. So it's definitely unknown. I wish I could talk to my grandpa about that ball. Derek Jeter, that's one we're looking for. So if you want to see the back, you can always pause it. So I've mentioned before, I like the Yankees, but I hate the Yankees. The Yankees always beat up on the Twins in the World Series, but I love the history of the Yankees. I love history of baseball. Whether it's Yankees or Red Sox or Pittsburgh Pirates, I have a Willie Stargell jersey as well. I have a Cal Ripken jersey. So I'm hoping to find a Joe DiMaggio. And haven't been focused on looking at the cards. Maybe I did pass already. The 98 World Series, I was in 8th grade. I remember that a little bit. Jorge Posada, 1927. So if you don't know the story of Babe Ruth, he originally was a pitcher for Boston. He grew up in an orphanage, a school for boys, I believe. He got traded, I think in 1919 from Boston to the Yankees for cash and something that had to do with a play. I can't remember. I've heard the story a couple times. Randy Johnson, another Derek Jeter, another A-Rod. If you grew up in the 90s, those are two players you collected or you know someone that collected. Maybe it was a 51. It was a 51 ball. It might have been a 51 ball. I can't remember. I just did the 1951 set, and I've been thinking about 52 with the anniversary of Topps. I can't remember if it's 51 or 52. It might be 51. autographed team ball. Man. Then here's one of the authentic memorabilia. So let's look at the back. So you received a trading card with game use MLB memorabilia. The memorabilia has been certified to us as having been used in an official MLB game. So don't know much about it. I'm not sure if it's a bat. I would assume that Yankee Stadium didn't have wooden chairs, I believe. All right, let's get the next one open. So that must be 51 cards, 50 in the set plus the one memorabilia card. So if you're wondering, it would end up being, let's see, 100. Oh, I'm math. Summer math. Is it 20 cents a card? 20 times 5, something like that. So 20 cents a card I'm paying. So there's what an authentic Babe Ruth jersey look like. Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig. So on the back, must give some information there. So this is a set where if a Yankees fan, you might have it in sleeves, you might read the back. Wally Pipp. I don't know Wally Pipp. So they must do it by decade here. So it's 1920s to 30s. And if we go, yeah, when we get to the 50s, I'll let you know some of the names are on that ball. So I did look at it. 1936 World Series. Ernie Combe, Urban Shocker. I don't know these, a lot of these in the 20s and 30s. Bill Dickey, I know. Joe McCarthy, I know that name. Wasn't he a coach? There he is, Joe DiMaggio. So I have a bearded dragon named DiMaggio. I got it as a class pet in my classroom about 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So I chose DiMaggio again because my grandpa's favorite player. So one of the game's all-time greats, DiMaggio began his career in 1936. The 21-year-old from Martinez, California, wasted no time in showing off his talents as he hit .323. Wow. 3 years later, the superstar center fielder notched his first of 3 American League Most Valuable Players. Very cool. All right. Phil Rizzuto, I think he's on the ball. When did he play? 40s, 50s, yeah, 5 straight titles. So 49 through 53. Eventually I'll bring that ball. It's at my parents' house, all locked up. There's another DiMaggio. So eventually I'll bring the ball and I'll see if you guys think it's real. Yogi. Yeah, so when the ball is signed, he signed it as Larry. And I bet if someone's searching New York Yankees cards on YouTube, if I had the ball up, you could probably identify if it's real or not. It's got a little bit of gloss to it, and I wonder if there was something put on it to try to preserve it. Because there's some cracking in it. So at first glance, that's why I thought it was not real. It was a printed ball. But that was, I guess, commonly done. Whitey Ford, got a couple of his autographs. Don Larson, got some of his autographs. Yeah, anytime that I can get all-time great baseball players for $10 to $20 autograph, especially on Fleer Greats the Game, or I thought that was Rudy Giuliani for a second. Oh, thank God. Derek Jeter. bunch of cards in this, as you should. A-Rod, Mariano Rivera. I got a couple chrome refractors of this guy that I think would sell well. And then here is the other one. So this is cloth, so it's a jersey, I would assume. Same exact. I wish they would have just chose a player instead of leaving it a mystery. For all we know, this is Babe Ruth. You don't know. I do know it's not Babe Ruth, I know that, but you don't know. All right. So for the giveaway, all you got to do is let me know what your favorite Yankee player is. And maybe it might be I hate them all. Here's my favorite Boston Red Sox player. I don't care. Any comment will get you into the giveaway. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.